L Boogie right here with the Purple Underground. Yo, we got my man CMS down at the
Yep.
bottom. What's up? Say what's up, CMS.
Yo, what up? What's goody?
Yeah, yeah. We got my man Captain Kirk that runs Purple Underground. P. Ross, Mr. Anniversary Man right now.
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
And our special guest for the night in the Purple Underground. I feel like doing a hallelujah dance, but I can't do it right now because, hey, I'm very trying to trying to stay chill. We got Miss Madhouse herself, Miss Maneca Lightner.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you. Uh, you guys are too generous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what's up, fellas?
it's all good. It's all good. Of course, you blessed me earlier on my elbow quickie. You know what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate you. I appreciated that, Lenny. That was very cool.
But I appreciate you coming on the quickie and coming on tonight with the fellas, Purple Underground. Shout out to LT. She's the good luck song. She normally don't do the interviews with us, but I'm sure she sends blessings to you, Miss Tanisha.
Ah, very cool.
Now, to start this thing off is, of course, unlike the fellas, we know all about Miss Mad. You understand what I'm saying? Now, to the people who out there who don't know who Miss Maneca Lightner is, explain to the people who you are and why when you walk by men just talk to people.
I don't know about all that, but yeah, I am known as the Madhouse Girl, Prince's Madhouse Jazz albums cover girl. I was blessed with that opportunity that he had given me, and I will be forever grateful. But yeah, I am an entrepreneur. I own a sober living home, as most of you know already. Um, what else? I'm. What else you missed? I don't know. You got to ask me more stuff. You put out something I cannot I cannot answer the way you put it out there. So
Well,
I'm still
um,
blushing from that, actually.
well, the fellas can attest to. We all have our own. I called our own busting. Our version moment with the colors. We all got stories of our first encounter with that company. It I said earlier, were a part are in my top two, three album covers of all time with, like I said, how fire, you know.
Well, that's
So
an honor to be
I'm
compared to those
yeah,
covers.
fellas, do y'all agree?
Oh yeah,
Oh
no
yeah.
doubt, no doubt.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
So of course we love it, but it's like this. The best thing about you that I've kind of gotten to know you is not only are you super fine on the outside, but you're super fine on the inside as well because of
Oh,
what you're doing, with your sober living home, which I want you to explain to the people what's that all about and what you need from us going forward.
okay. Well, first, let me just say, if do I look kind of crazy squinting because I should be wearing glasses, but I'm trying to be cute, so I don't want to put on my glasses. So, do I look a little crazy squinting, or am I okay?
You good?
You
You
good?
you look good. You look good.
Okay.
I'm actually about to put mine back on here in just a second. But go ahead.
Okay. Um, So yeah, I got into this industry because my oldest son has been battling addiction for 10 years now. And he's doing pretty good right now. But, I don't know if you guys know anyone who is struggling with addiction. It is an everyday struggle. It is actually a minute by minute struggle for them. Um, so he inspired me to get involved because I wanted to create a house that, that if I didn't know anything and someone told me what this house was about, I would want my loved one, my kid, to go to that house. So, because as I said earlier, Lenny, I had seen so many different homes that he had been in and out of, and um, some were okay, most were not, and I just wanted to create a safe haven that I thought would be cool, and so I did, and we got into meaning I had two other partners early on the first year, and we were told a lot of things that really weren't true, that basically we were sold a dream that doesn't really exist. But I still wanted to pursue trying to make a difference. So the second year that we rolled in to having this house, I pretty much took over. I decided I didn't want to give it up yet. They were ready to jump out of it, which I can understand, but I wanted to keep moving forward. There are programs that I want to create for the recovering individuals that I hate using the word addict, because when they're in recovery, I feel like I'm, sticking them in that space of being an addict, when in fact they're trying to be more than that. They're no longer that. They should not be considered that, even though technically, you're forever recovering from something, because you can slip up at any time. I just don't like referring to them as addicts. Anyway, and can I just say, to one of my pet peeves, when you go to AA meetings or NA meetings, you have to stand up and say, my name is so-and-so and I'm an addict. Why do you have to hold yourself in that space? That question is a rhetorical question, obviously. But it just is what it is. I just thought about that and got annoyed real quick. Sorry, guys. Anyway, so so I'm here in this beautiful house, and it's just too much. It's too much to maintain, and the only way I can save having Amber Terrace that's the name of the house, is to move it into a less expensive home. And so that's what I'm in the middle of trying to do, is move the clients into a less expensive home, as well as having to file for my nonprofit status, because when you're in this kind of business, you do qualify for certain grants and all that good stuff. And anyway, it's been a long road. It's been very difficult, but I'm down for the struggle. So I'm trying to fight to the dirty end to save it, because if there's one thing we don't need, is to lose another good house. We need more homes, and it's just not enough. So anyway, I decided to do the GoFundMe page in hopes that if everyone donated $5, because I was looking at how many friends I have, if everybody donated $5, I would be set, and I could do what I need to do, because it's really expensive to move in LA, like ridiculous. And if you're not making money, which I don't make money on this house, there's not a lot that I can do, so except turn to fundraising. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get the word out there. And it's almost like a $5 challenge. It's like, hey, if you just donate $5, it all adds up if everybody's out there, trying to help. And usually that's not the case, but that's what I'm hoping for.
But we've seen it work, like I said with earlier in the El Boogie Quickie, about how Maite went about, if we just get the word out. And the Purple Fam, who we all, like I said, supposedly be living by the creed, love for one another and all of that. There's no reason that we should be able to save the sober living home. So I'm down for the cause. I told you the other night, and I know the fellas here, they down for the cause as well. And we'll do everything in our power to help you, get the word out and get the GoFundMe page as far as getting the link and everything. Put it on the video, in the comment section.
I
We'll
appreciate
definitely
that.
push it on all media platforms. And like I said, I'm bitten by the whole, like people actually out here who talk the talk, but they walk the walk as well. So you're one of those people. So like I said,
Oh,
you
thank you.
real deal, baby. You the real deal.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So now on a lighter note, fellas, y'all know about the Purple Paley brunch event coming up, right? In New York.
Yeah.
And Jerome is hosting, and the special guest is none other than the niece, Miss Madhouse herself. And that's city. So uh,
We're gonna have some fun.
trying to
Y'all.
get me to my damn pocket, boy, to get my autograph from this Madhouse, boy.
Oh, you guys can make it. They have deals all the time. Just keep looking on them flights. You know?
Yeah, so fellas, any of y'all got any questions for Miss Madhouse? You know what I'm saying? Keep it real.
Keep it real, guys.
Go ahead, CMS.
Now you go ahead.
You could go. I defer to you, my brother.
Oh, man.
Come on now. I don't hold back, so.
Yeah, I've heard your interview on Michael Dean's podcast. I don't know if you remember me, but I actually inboxed you and I said that I really enjoyed the interview because I had learned a lot that I just never knew. So
that was very awesome. I'm
yeah.
glad, and I hope it was good.
Oh yeah, it was dope. It was dope. But just for our viewers who watch the channel, do you mind letting our viewers know how you met Prince and how your working relationship started with him?
Yeah, I don't mind. I got to try to condense it because I will get to running my mouth and skipping down memory lane and get all sidetracked and stuff. And you guys be like, oh my God, can she please shut up? But
That's all good. You have the floor. Go ahead.
And you know what, Lenny, I was looking at the video earlier and I had said it was a year. It had been a year that Prince had finally asked me to do the album. It had not been quite a year. I was incorrect about that. It had probably been more like 6 months. Anyway, so I had met Prince a couple of times before actually connecting with him. I was 16 when I went to the record store with my best friend to get his autograph. He claims he remembered that. And then I saw him a couple more times. Nope, one time. Anyway, I saw him one time, and that's when I had on this polka dot outfit, which became the theme for the album covers because he really liked the outfit I was wearing, which was a very 50s vintage look that I was wearing because I've always been attracted to that look since, I was probably like 17, 18 years old. And then my best friend, she ended up moving to Minneapolis. I stayed behind because originally I wasn't a big Prince fan. I didn't really become a fan until, I don't know, I did like Soft and Wet, but I just really wasn't a big fan. I became a fan probably when Controversy came out. So I think I was about 19 then. Um, so then we moved. She moved first. She talked to me into moving to Minneapolis. She moved out there. She said, "Hey, you should come on out." So I did, and we went out and partied that night after driving 19 hours. Me and my cousin, she drove with me, and went to the club, Casablanca's. Jerome was out there. Jerome remembered me from seeing me, in Denver a couple of times when they had been out there performing, and he grabbed my hand and said, "Someone wants to meet you." And we went inside the club. He pushed me in front of Prince and was like, "What's your name?" I said, "Manisa." And so he did the introduction. And so from that point is when we really connected. And that's when we started hanging out. And I was 21 by then. And so, yeah, I stayed for probably 3 months, and I moved back to Denver. I had been invited to a couple parties, so he would fly me back and forth, and then finally he asked me to do the album covers, and so I did. And I was floored. I was excited to get it. Now, after that first year, so here's where I was getting it kind of confused. It was a year when the first single came out. Six came out. It was a year then. And by the time all that happened, then he and I had started dating because I didn't want to be another one of his chicks that he got with and kicked to the curb. So I would have rather work with him than to be one of his girls. So that was a chance that I was wanting to take. But lucky for me, it worked out both ways.
Yeah.
So yeah. You guys, what else?
I'm just listening. I'm all ears. So, hey,
So,
keep talking.
do you remember your first date with Prince Man as a couple?
Okay, so when you say as a couple, I didn't really feel like I was his girlfriend because he was seeing so many other women. Like,
Right.
If you were with Prince, you knew you there's no way you could not know that he was with other women. Come on. So I didn't view myself as a girlfriend. I just viewed myself as one of his women. And because I was one of his women, and mind you, I wasn't tripping being that type of woman with anybody else, but it was Prince. So, I was down for the cause. Anyway, but again, I kept doing my thing too. He didn't want me to see anybody else, but I did anyway. So do I remember? I remember being at a party and see, he would have Jerome come and tell me a lot of stuff. So Jerome came up to me at this party and said, "Hey, Prince wants you to come outside." So I go outside. Prince is sitting in his car. He's like, "Hey, come on and get in the car." And I get in, and he's like, "Want to go for a ride?" And I was like, "Yeah." So we left. And we hung out for a bit. And yeah, I guess that could have been the first official considered a date. I don't know. We would just get together. He would fly me, to Minneapolis, to Los Angeles before I actually moved here. We would have matching midnight blue limousines. He just treated me like a little princess, and I was in another world. Like, I just was overwhelmed with how good I was being treated by him.
What was
and the reason go ahead.
what was
Different? Um, the first one we did Malibu, and the sun was not cooperating, the weather. So the final product was pictures that were actually in a studio. So they made a little beach scene in a studio. Um, I remember that one being a little easier than the one with the yellow dress, the second album, because we had to work with that dog in the car, and the dog kept going inside of the car and falling asleep or doing whatever. He was just all over the place, so it was taking a lot longer. And that machine gun that I had was real, and it was so heavy that I started to get sick on the set because I didn't want to eat, because that dress I was wearing was thin, like a thin piece of latex. So I didn't want my stomach to pooch out or anything, because I didn't know anything about airbrushing or whatever they could do back then. So I was trying to starve myself so I would be everything would be nice and flat, and anyway, so that one was a tough one. The third cover, it just didn't feel right. It's almost as if they rushed through it, and you can kind of tell because it doesn't have that same kind of feel to it, to me anyway. But they were trying to go for the futuristic look. It just wasn't working as far as I'm concerned.
Are you talking about the one that was supposed to be for the 24?
Yes, 24.
Was that the name of the album?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Prince did he tried to work with me as far as singing. I couldn't sing. I still can't sing. I can't play instruments. I have no rhythm there, so that didn't work. And I couldn't really fake the funk, because back then in the 80s, everybody was doing the whole lip sync thing, or, the Milli Vanilli thing, and they wanted me to do that. Not Prince, but other people in the industry, and I just couldn't fake the funk. I was like, I can't do it. I can't get up there and be like, yeah, I know I'm getting down singing, and all over my face like,
okay,
sorry, I'm really not singing.
Okay, so there's no hidden track in the vault with you and him nowhere, right?
No.
Okay, cool.
This is me and him chilling, and him trying to get me to sing something. I'm like, I just can't. I'll make you cry if I start singing. Or, he'll try to get me to do a beat on the table as if I was going to play the congas or something, and I couldn't even do the beat. I'm like, okay, Manisa, you are really blowing this. So, but oh well, I could dance, but he didn't want me to dance.
So, were you feeling any of the Madhouse music from the albums?
Was I what?
Were you feeling any of the Madhouse music from the albums?
Yes. I was not a jazz fan back then, so I didn't really care about the music, unfortunately. But the songs that were actually released, I really liked. And then, I hate to say it, but it wasn't until years later that I really listened to the entire album. And yeah, so then there's quite a few songs that I like. So.
Okay.
Well, you say you can't sing, but I know, like everybody else in the world, you sing your favorite song in the shower.
I can get down in the shower.
What song do you sing in the shower?
Okay, listen, I am such an old school girl. I am old school to the max. I am 70s. Of course, I do dig the 80s. The 80s that was a really fun decade, all the 80s. But 70s, that's me. Motown, old school Motown, 60s, that's me. So when I am listening to music, it's usually old school.
Cool. So what are you listening to today?
What do I listen to
today? What's piquing your interest today?
That's difficult because if I brought my boys in here and said, what do I listen to every day? They'll say old school music. So that's just what I do. I like Bruno Mars. Um, I don't know. I like stuff by Taylor Swift. Please don't dog me out, but I do. I like her songs.
No, it's
Um,
all good.
I'm that person that when I was growing up, I liked Barry Manilow. I liked the Carpenters, um, all kind of Patsy Cline, you name it. I was into it. But anyway,
Very
there's
diverse.
really not one particular person that I can think of that I like to listen to on a regular today. But there are some good artists. There's some songs out there that I like.
Okay. Okay.
For sure, for sure. I only ask that because I don't even know what's going on today. I don't listen to that stuff, so I just ask,
Oh, okay.
you know. So
Yeah, I really don't know.
what's up,
Bro,
CMS?
CMS, it's your turn, bro. Remember the conversation me and you had earlier about, like I told you about the brothers at the barbershop
Yes.
had the album covers on the walls of the barbershop, but didn't know your name and didn't even have the album, didn't even care about the album. All they wanted was the girl on the album cover on their wall.
No, it was always the Madhouse girl.
Always the man.
Right.
Always the Madhouse girl.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've heard some things before in my days. I've this guy who became a really good friend of mine, he said to me, this is before we became really good friends. He says, "Do you know how many times I've had sex with you?" I was like, "Oh my God, dude, really?"
All right.
So I get it. I get it.
Mm-mm-mm.
Man's got to do. You know, it is what it is.
Wow.
Mm.
Or,
That was a lot. But
Yeah.
Yeah, he was bold for that.
I liked him being bold. I appreciated that.
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
Tell me, what's the strangest uh proposal or line that a guy has ran on you?
Hmm. I don't know about the strangest, but I know I can tell you one that sticks out because I thought it was pretty cool. And then when I had told a few people over the many years, the guys especially, the guys are like, oh, that's old, yeah, that's old and tired. But anyway, there was a guy who asked me to hold his phone for him, and we were in doing some business together. It was me, him, and someone else, and so when we got done with all the business, I said, "Oh, you forgot your phone. Here's your phone." And he's like, "No, you keep that in case I want to give you a call."
Wow.
Mm-mm-mm.
I
Wow.
like that one.
Wow.
Wasn't you also in
That's hot.
the Madhouse 13 video?
Yes.
Oh, okay, what was that like? Cause that video's hot.
Right.
Hot.
Yeah, hot to death.
Hot.
Mm.
So you said, what was it like doing it?
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. So there was 10 and then there was 13 because there's two. So
Right.
that was cool. You know what? I liked doing the first video better than the second one.
Really.
Yeah. But there was a photographer that followed me around the whole freaking day taking pictures. And then later I found out that was by Prince's request. I have no idea why, but it was kind of annoying. But it was okay. I mean, I remember complaining that the director of the video wanted me to wear the same outfit that I wore in the first video. So I went and complained to Prince, and Prince made them make me a new dress on the spot, which I thought was super cool. And that was the red dress. That was the red dress. And they were a little pissy, but you know, they kind of threw it together real. You can't tell, but it was done real, you know, like sloppy. Anyway, it was cool. It was cool. So you know, the last scene in that video where I say don't move, it's like with the horn in my hand and I'm pretending to be blowing the horn. I thought the video was over. I thought the shoot was over for me, so I ran in the dressing room and took off all my makeup. And they're like, oh my God, what are you doing? You're not done. And so because I was wearing a hood and sunglasses, I just threw some lipstick on and ran out there, and they never knew the difference. But I know that's kind of minor, but for me, I thought that was real cool because, trust me, when they do makeup, you're sitting there forever with it caked on. So the fact that I could get away with just lipstick was like, really? So all that makeup really wasn't all that necessary. But yeah, it was cool though. It was fun.
So did you dance for anybody else?
Did I do what?
Dance for anybody else? Like any other artist or just?
So Prince did not want me to work with anyone else. That was his controlling side. I even asked because I once I moved to California, I started meeting people that wanted me to do things, and he's like, no. He goes, I don't want you to do anything else. I want you to work with me. You know, I'm trying to do things with the Madhouse brand, and so I just was like, okay. I still did a couple of things that he didn't know about because it was nothing big. But yeah, after that, after the last cover, there was a couple of things I did that didn't get released by these, you know, people. Oh, here's a funny one. So I was at a club and Tone Loc, remember Tone Loc?
Yeah.
Wild Thing and okay, so I was out. Anyway, he wanted me to be a rapper. So he hooked me up with his voice. I'm like, okay, but I don't know how to rap. So I got hooked up with some guys that I was really scared of because they were no joke. I mean, they were like the real deal gangster-like dudes. And so I got scared and I didn't go back a second time. I went the first time to get introduced to the main person. There was a studio out of his house, and it was just too much for me, so I couldn't do it. So can you imagine being a rapper? Oh boy.
That's funny. That's funny because we was just talking about Tone Loc last week.
Is that right?
Yeah, we was actually just talking about Tone Loc. So.
Wow.
I'm sure you would have pulled it off somehow. Yeah.
I guess. It's hard for me to fake the funk on stuff I'm not really, you know, if it's not real for me, it's just hard for me to fake the funk.
That's what's up.
Okay.
That's what's up. I respect that.
That's what's up. What's up? So if you had to do anything over again, what would it be? Or change anything?
Wow. I probably would have not been so, you know, see, I was so into not wanting Prince to feel like I was a groupie or even a fan that I would never ask certain things of him. Like I would never ask, hey, let's take a picture, or, you know, just be over the top excited. And I didn't want him to control me or anything like that. I just wanted us to have fun, but I was so busy being careful not to fall for him because I knew that he would never be mine. So there's this big wall that I built up to protect myself. And I think had I not done that, things could have been different. I would have had a completely different experience with him. But yeah, I was very, you know, emotionally protected. So, which prevented me from being a certain kind of way with him.
Right.
But I still had a lot of fun.
I see.
Still had a lot of fun.
So,
Oh, Prince and I stopped seeing each other because I got pregnant with my first son. So that ended our relationship, of course.
this, so that was like the paperwork came in the mail, like it's over.
What was that conversation like?
It's over.
I dreaded having that conversation because I didn't have morning sickness. I had 24/7 sickness, like for the first 5 months of my pregnancy. And he had sent me the music to the song Get Off because I was supposed to do a video with him on that song, and he said, I'm going to show it in First Avenue and it's going to be me and you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I was excited because I had gotten married, which pissed him off. But I was only married for 2 years. And during that 2-year time frame, he would just, fly me out to parties and ignore me and give me dirty looks and that kind of crazy stuff. But but once
so he pretty much had a sucker attack. So.
A sucker attack?
Yeah.
Hey, men will be men, no matter what their status.
It happens.
So, damn, hold on, guys. I didn't realize my battery was dying. Yikes. So, now I was saying.
You were saying that you said you seen him at the club and he was mean mugging you and.
Yeah. But once I filed for divorce and I let him know, he was back in the picture. And so anyway, without going into detail with that, he went on tour. And so when he came back, actually, he may have called me from Europe, now that I'm thinking about it. Anyway, it was wee hours of the morning. He called. I was sick. And he said, what's wrong with you? Are you pregnant? And I was like, oh, my God, because I seriously had to decide, do I get an abortion just so I could do this video with Prince? That was crazy for me. And especially in my family, I was already considered an old maid because the women in my family had babies in their early 20s. And here I was, 27. And for them, they're like, when are you going to have kids? Anyway, it was crazy. For whatever reason, I decided, of course, obviously, to keep the baby. And I had to tell him. So when he said that, I said, yes, as a matter of fact, I am. So he knew it wasn't his because here's the thing with Prince. Prince respected the fact that I was married and I had just filed for a divorce. So in his eyes, I still wasn't divorced yet. So we would hang out, but we didn't have any intimate relations. Well, let me take that back. We didn't actually go all the way. You guys might have to edit some shit.
It depends on what the word is or is. You know what Bill Clinton said. Depends on what is. What?
Anyway, see, y'all got me saying too much stuff on here. But so he really just said, It's my fault. I should have spent more time with you. And had I spent more time with you, this wouldn't have happened. He says, but if you love him, you need to make it work. Um, and I'll always be here for you. That part was a lie. So, because I remember calling him way after my son was born to talk to him and forget about it. Couldn't get nothing. He never, ever called me back. Ever. Like, I was like, what happened? So his brother Dwayne, Dwayne and I were cool. And so Dwayne wasn't supposed to talk to me, but he did anyway. And he broke it down to me. He said Prince was hurt. He's like, the marriage thing, he knew that wouldn't work. He said, but the baby thing, you can't put a baby back. You can't leave a baby. That's forever. He said, so it was like you were tainted goods to him. I was like, oh, tainted goods? That's fucked up.
Wow.
It's probably a song in the vault called Tainted Goods. Probably.
Right. That's funny.
That is totally something else. What you got, P. Ross? You got anything?
I ain't got nothing, man. I'm good. I've heard it all tonight.
Heard it all tonight.
Heard it all tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all got some good stuff tonight for me.
You got some CMS?
I'm just sitting here trying to imagine what it would, the Get Off video would be like if you were in there. That's what I'm sitting here.
It was going to be hot.
Right.
Oh yeah. I can co-sign that. So.
Shoot. So I'm gonna put you on the spot right now.
Uh-oh.
So you know what me and you talked about earlier about you joining the underground for a little clip. You know what I'm saying? A little video thing. And like I said, we'll write it. You'll act. It'll be the bomber. So what's up?
I am down.
All right.
I'm down.
Oh yeah.
Y'all just let me know.
It's on and popping. You heard that, P. Raw?
Yes, sir.
Did you?
Yes, sir.
Miss, you can't be shy, bro. You stuck.
Now, you gotta repeat that because the signal was breaking up, like the camera froze up.
No, I said that she's down with the underground to do like a little short vid, little funky mini movie thing with the underground, bro.
Oh yeah.
So you know what I'm saying, we hook it up. We gonna hook it up.
Oh, we gonna start right on tonight.
Oh boy, okay.
It's gonna be
all right.
Everybody watching, coming to a YouTube channel near you. Underground meets the Madhouse. You understand what I'm saying? It's gonna be on, boy. It's gonna be on and popping. Popping. I gotta go back and learn some old 70s slang now.
All right.
So that's about it, Maneca. We appreciate you coming on, you know what I'm saying, the underground. I mean, really, you hit the underground twice in one day, you know what I'm saying? You did the L Boogie Quickie earlier, which I appreciate for the live thing. And I'm sure the fellas appreciate you coming on and blessing the underground tonight.
Yes, indeed.
No doubt.
Yes.
No doubt.
Thank you, guys. No problem.
So again, we're going to tell everybody about, the Sober Living Home GoFundMe account. We're going to put the link in the comment section of this daggone video.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Absolutely.
It ain't nothing but $5. hey, if it ain't five, if you got one, whatever you can contribute
That's
because like
right.
love for one another, we can make this thing happen. And in the spirit of Prince, we talking about giving and helping those less fortunate and people in need. This is the
Yeah.
perfect opportunity to talk the talk and walk the walk and keep everything funky on the damn one.
Oh yeah.
Right. And you know what? Can I just say this real quick too? Because this is so crazy for me. When I found out Prince had passed, I was in the thick of planning all this stuff, the sober living stuff, and it hit me hard because it's like, wow, never ever would I had imagined that he would die of an overdose, and here I am diving into this whole world of addiction. That was just wild to me.
Right. Kind of
So
surreal.
anyway,
Right.
yeah.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
okay, guys,
Yeah.
sorry to end it on that note.
No,
But
No,
we thank you. Thank you.
it's
Yeah,
real,
thank you.
So,
right.
we keep it real in the underground and, let people express their feelings. That's the whole thing. Whether, we got Purple fam out there that are, they don't want to use the word addicted or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is it is different for like, different or different um, opinions going around. But like I said, in the underground, we try to let everybody express themselves.
Oh yeah, I got my opinions about that too, but I'm not gonna get into that. But whatever happened, the bottom line is he overdosed. No matter how it happened, that's what the end result was.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Okay.
So,
So anyway,
Oh, you just had a birthday, right?
I did.
You did. Now I remember, and
Yes, I hung out with TC. He came
uh,
to like see the place.
right, because TP's doing his thing, with the schools and all that. With
Yes, it's awesome.
and so shout out to TC. What's up, TC?
What's up, TC?
And so that was good. So you turned what were you 31 now? 32?
Thank you so much, but I am all of 38.
Oh, 38.
mm,
Mm.
No, I am proud to say that I am 56 years old.
Lord,
mm, mm, mm.
woo! There is a
Hey,
God.
time is fun.
You wear it well, baby. That's all I got.
Mm-mm.
Thank you.
Wear it well. So Monet,
Mm-hmm.
don't fam, listen here. This is L Boogie in CMS, my
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And that right here, yeah, that's herself. Miss Madhouse, Miss Maneca Light. We appreciate y'all for, supporting the YouTube channel, Underground, Purple Underground, you understand? Check out the FB page, IG, all that good stuff. And like I always say, keep everything funky, make everything on the one. And the secret to walking on water is knowing where the rocks are and make the Purple Underground your favorite channel. Other than that, we out.
Peace.
And
Peace.
be wild.
Peace.